Welcome, everyone, to Andromeda 7, your celestial gateway. Good to have everybody here. Awesome. So tonight we are doing a mindful group meditation, which will be led by Sophia. I'm super excited about this. Grandpa Brian's going to do a group intent and prayer protection before we do our meditation. And of course, our adorables are with us tonight, supporting us and being a part of this. So welcome, you guys. Also want to go ahead and we'll welcome everyone in chat. Just to let you know, unfortunately, please send some healing prayers and intent for Theresa. Sweet Theresa is not feeling up to par tonight, so she just needs some good rest. So get your rest on, girl, and feel better. And we got this. So let's see who's with us tonight. Of course, Theresa is in chat. Mary Wins. Good to see you as Mary Wins. So thank you. I love that you're here. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you. And let's see, I think we're a little light. So, we'll give people a chance to kind of get the notifications and to come on in. I do want to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing and being a part of this journey. We're really, really passionate about it. We love sharing our insights. We've all really come a long way. We've opened up our own hearts, minds, and have developed our own little process, haven't we? So it's wonderful to have you all with us and experiencing that. So for those of you out there doing meditation, you may be a seasoned pro. You might be somebody who is just now coming into it, not sure about it. You want to see what this is all about, maybe participate, maybe not. It's entirely up to you. But meditation is really different for everyone. And we all have our own form of meditating. And I wanted to ask Nick and Jasmine how you guys meditate. What form of meditation do you use? How do you get into that space? Could you share with the audience your process?
Mm-hmm. You want to go first?
So most of the time I just do standard meditation, like just closing your eyes and not thinking about anything until you hit the alpha wave state. I don't do it crisscross applesauce. I do it laying down. Mm-hmm. There's no real cookie cutter way to do it. You just got to make sure you're comfortable while you're doing it.
Right.
Yep.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good tip to know. Then Core taught us how to do active meditation too, which is kind of trippy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically you're aware, moving around and stuff, but you're in a meditative state while you're doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little bit more tricky to do.
Yeah, and it's so different for everyone. How about you, Jasmine?
So I had to learn what meditation was. Every time someone would drop the keywords, like meditation, grounding, centering, shield, all those keywords. I'm like, the only thing I know about meditation was what they showed me in the movies. And what they showed me in the movies was monks sitting down and going, and that was meditation. And I'm like, Is that what I'm supposed to do? What am I supposed to, because my brain is so active. I'm like, what am I supposed to, is it supposed to repeat om? I'm like, okay, what am I thinking about the flowers? Am I thinking about, what am I supposed to be thinking about? And they're like, you're not. And I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to think. Oh,
yeah, I was like, that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. So then, at all my relations with Heather, that's, excuse me, kitty, I'm trying to talk. That's where they told me that, they said it's just to be, it's just to exist. And I'm like, what does that mean? Mind you, this is
Mhm.
like with no background of not knowing. This is like first month into spirituality. Like I was born in religion, and like that was all I knew. I knew about prayer, right? So they're like,
Mhm.
okay, when you sit down for prayer, you know that space you walk into or that mindset you go into, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah. They're like, okay, it's adjacent to that, and I was like, okay. So they're like, so start there, and they're like, I'm like, okay, so who am I praying to? And they're like, you're not praying to anyone, just go into that energy zone. And I said, okay, I'll try
Yeah.
doing that. So when I did call my like I entered into like the prayer zone, I was like, okay, what now? And they're just like, they would give me a prompt, right? And I would like tonight I don't know how, maybe we'll do a prompt, but I would actively start playing with that prompt, like daydreaming, right? I like
Mhm.
daydreaming. Who doesn't like daydreaming? I daydream all the time. So I was like, okay, so you're telling me that this is like a set time for me to daydream. This is perfect. I can do this.
Mhm.
So it went from daydreaming to actually, I think when I finally understood meditation is when all my thoughts really quieted down and I was
Mhm.
able to listen. I was able to hear
Your
my
cat's
body.
meditating on your microphone.
Like, yes, this is good stuff here.
I love that.
um, I think that's when I finally, it finally clicked that I was sitting with myself, but
Mhm.
not with any titles. I wasn't Sister Jasmine. I wasn't Teacher Jasmine. I wasn't Manager Jasmine. I wasn't Daughter Jasmine. I wasn't a title. I was me in the moment. It's
Mhm.
like the
Did,
movie Fight Club that says
yeah.
you're not the contents of your wallet. You're not the job you have. Like, who are you
Mhm.
when none of that exists?
Right.
Did you have any fear about meditating at all? Not,
Yes.
coming into it and not understanding. And
Yes.
also, the secondary question would be, since you have religious background, what is, and I'm curious because I don't
Yeah.
have religious background. What does religion teach you about meditation, or what does it say about it, if
So
anything?
I wasn't really afraid of it because I didn't know what it was, right?
Mhm.
Every time I heard meditation, I heard good things about meditation. The
Mhm.
religion was the only thing that would tell me bad things about meditation. The whole clear your mind, they would warn against it. So we weren't even allowed to go do yoga because yoga does mindful meditation. And the time when they say clear your mind, they say it's really dangerous because that's when you're open to possessions. Because since you are not occupying your mind, that means that a demon or something unholy could occupy your space.
That
So they
seems really
always,
fear-based to me. Yeah.
that's why I don't really, I feel like certain people need religion to get on track, right? Like if you don't
Mhm.
know the rules or
Yeah.
how to behave,
Yeah.
religion's a good place
There's
to start.
benefits to religion, no doubt about it. But
But
ultimately, you're the one that decides.
yeah, I just got sick of being told what to do, how to do it, who to talk to, who not to talk to, what to wear, what not to wear, how to speak, how not to. I'm like, that's way too much micromanaging for me. I don't like it.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's what religion says.
Yeah. Fascinating. How about you, Brian? How do you practice mindful meditation? I know you've got some interesting techniques, and would love for you to share it with the group.
Well, the first is the shower, because the shower is the only place you know that you're
Hmm.
not going to be bothered by anything. And, it's the water's relaxing you anyways, and that gets you in the mindful state. The air thing, I take a different route down to the cabin now, but when I was taking the one route, I probably drove that route 1,000 times.
Hmm.
And I would go into what uh, Karen, Queen of Courts, would call automatic driving, where
Hmm.
I'm just driving down the road and
Hmm.
boom. And I'll be like,
Autopilot.
all of a sudden, I just went through a town. Did I slow down when I went through there? Knowing that I did, but not because I was in a meditative state while I was driving, not realizing that I did slow down and then speed back up.
Hmm.
But
Well,
once you learn how to go into meditation, it's easy to get into meditation.
mhm. And so, when you meditate, you say you meditate in the shower, which is really good because the water flowing over you, it cleans and cleanses the aura, which is really good. and it gives you that fresh new feel, and also you have that space to be alone. That's really incredible. But yeah, any kind of meditation with water. I had a swimming pool in my backyard for a long time, and I would go out in the swimming pool and swim at night with the moon shining through, and I would just see how long I could hold my breath under the water. It was so amazing. And then I'd look up through the water and see the moon, and I could just feel the energy. But it's that connection to everything around you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
your background is a true background. This is your cabin up in the woods in Indiana.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you had some meditation experiences out in the lake as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. And that, like you said, a pool, if you can get out, especially on a full moon, and get into that water, make sure you're wearing a floating device so you stay safe, because you can go into a deep meditation. You don't want to sink if that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
But the energy of the moon and the water, yeah, I mean, you will have an amazing experience in meditation doing that, because you're connecting, especially for guys, you're connecting to the feminine energy of the water and of the moon, but also that water is connected to earth, so you're grounding too. And that's one of the most important things when meditating, is making sure you're grounded. You know,
Totally agree with you on that. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, I mentioned last week on the show that we have a tree stump in the backyard, and I like to sit on the tree stump and then just imagine my energy coming through the top of my crown and then right through my chakras and all the way down into the ground. And then I just branch out with the roots of the tree, and it's super grounding. So I love that part. Yeah,
even
amazing.
sitting on a stone, that stone came from earth, and it's still grounded because it's sitting on the ground. So you can sit on a stone
No
and
better way to ground. Yep.
right.
No better way to ground. Wow. Sophia is going to lead our meditation tonight. But before she does, I'd like to find out, how do you meditate, Sophia? How do you practice that mindful meditation? What are your techniques?
I have 3.
Okay.
Actually 2, but 3. That I like the walking meditations. For me, strolling specifically in the woods, on grounds, nature is very healthy for me. And then the other one are the drum circles.
Ooh, yes, that is powerful.
So, yes, I had an experience. Oh my, it would have been 10 plus years or more. Yeah, more. About 14 years ago, I was at a festival in Ohio, and it was the first drum circle that I had been to in decades. Okay, so the version of what you guys are seeing now, it's like a cake. There's been layers of experiences, but my last reboot was then, and I didn't even know it. So I had my dress on. I was excited. It was a drum circle. It was safe. I didn't have to worry about any creeps, because it happens, unfortunately. Use the buddy system. And I just let go. I didn't care who was watching. I didn't care what anybody thought. It was me and Source, kind of like Young Guns, you and I. It was me and Source, and I was going to do whatever I was impressed to do. And I probably danced in that drum circle. It had to have been an hour.
Wow.
It was a straight time warp. It was beautiful. The imagery that I saw, it was sacred, and I needed it. And that's what I feel so powerful about meditation, is when you just take a moment to push the pause on the mundane world. And sacred means set apart. When you set apart time for spirit will set apart time for you. Is balance.
Yeah.
So just knowing how powerful it is that you can and are allowed to have a very special connection with not only your higher self, but there's different focal points to meditate on. You know, I've meditated with a number before because it's like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I mean, the whole way to
Or a
work. And I'm
phrase.
thinking 10-4 spirit. We're going to look into that. And meditation is a very powerful way to, you know, spirit speaks in a still voice, which means we need to shut up. And that's how we do it energetically, is at least I do, is meditation, creating space for us to listen.
Yeah.
Prayers is up, meditation's down.
Did you have any fears about meditating when you first started meditating? Any? Yeah.
I just wanted to do something different. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So, and it stuck.
What would you good? What would you say to somebody that, you know, coming into it might have a little bit of a trepidation or a little bit of fear about, you know, letting go? And what would you say to somebody that, you know, about things that could pop in type thing, you know, those types of fears?
Okay, so this is the approach that I took that worked for me, because everybody's different and what works for me might not work for everybody, but couldn't hurt. Respect is given, trust is earned. When I come into a sacred space, I am expecting and putting boundaries in place to, like what we're doing this evening. We're opening with a prayer. We're setting this space apart. So, so respect is given, trust is earned. And I would say if you have apprehension about meditation, use the buddy system. You know, if you're going to do something or try something for the first time, especially online, if you're going to do, listen to it consciously first before you open your mind to something. Be familiar, be educated, claim the fact that you have the, in my opinion, right to tap into your sacred and higher self.
So intent, pure
Oh,
intent,
yeah.
positive intent is all you need to protect yourself.
That's what I do. I have natural law. I lean heavily into natural law. Yes, do I believe in shielding and wards and everything else and casting sacred circles? Of course. But if you're going into something with fear, look at it until it gets small enough for you to not approach it like that, because fear and the metaphysics is not, it's like, that's not a good idea. So educate yourself to dispel the fear and move forward boldly.
I completely and totally agree with you on that. Absolutely. Hi, Trina. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Making some dinner. Good. Get yourself a good meal. Feel good. Elderberry, good to see you as well. Welcome, welcome. And Chloe, Miss Chloe, loving your crystals on your channel. Absolutely love it when you show them. I look forward to those videos. Right on. Well, what we're going to do is I have put together a little video about meditation, a little bit of the history too. I thought it would be interesting to learn, you know, a little bit and share with you what we have learned about it. And Sophia's meditation is about 5 to 6 minutes long. Yeah. And so we're just going to like create a virtual space for us to just do the group intent and, you know, really kind of experience this and get into it. If you're new to it, welcome. It's great. Glad you're here. If this is not for you, maybe catch us next time or next week. But please be respectful of the people in chat and what we're doing, and just please be respectful of this process. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's really important to be open to new things. And this is really a big, huge part of spirituality and ascension. It is a must for you to learn about it at least. And then whether you practice it or not, that's entirely up to you. But all of us here can attest to the benefits of meditation. And who knows, maybe someone will have a Kundalini experience tonight. You just never know. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play the video. Enjoy it. It's very short, just a couple of minutes, 2 minutes and 35 seconds. When we come out of that video, then I'd like to get started with the meditation. And then after the meditation, we can discuss it and see how people felt about it in chat. And if any, if it did anything or moved or shifted anything for anybody. I'm really looking forward to this myself. So, all right, without further ado, we'll roll that beautiful being footage, right, Sophia? Here we go, folks. Enjoy. When one merely mentions meditation, it invokes a certain idea of solitude. How do we quiet our minds of the day's thoughts, emotions, tasks, and life's constant reflections? If we look at meditation and see it more of pure mindfulness, we begin to understand that it's perfectly okay to be at peace in the space of thought. Mindfulness has evolved over the years, and it might be a good way to find stillness, calm, and stress relief. There's something so powerful about slowing down and paying attention. Have you ever stopped for a moment to take in your surroundings? To take in the color of the sky, the way the air feels on your skin, or the surrounding sounds? If you have, you could say you were practicing mindfulness. What is the origin of mindfulness? People have been practicing mindfulness strategies for centuries. The term originally comes from the Buddhist concept of sati, which relates to the moment-to-moment awareness of present events. According to scholars, Buddhism itself was founded somewhere in the 5th century BCE by Siddhartha Gautama, also known as Buddha. The modern translation of sati to mindfulness, however, came in 1881 when Thomas William Rhys Davids, a British magistrate in Sri Lanka, previously known as Gala Ceylon, identified mindfulness as the closest translation of the Buddhist concept of sati. While mindfulness was widely practiced in the East, it didn't make its way over to the West until the 1970s. So tonight, we'll be introducing a group mindful meditation to connect with our higher selves and give you an opportunity to experience mindful meditation and some skills to quiet the mind. Now let's join the panel. So I think the good thing about all this is we're doing this as a group. So you're all highly supported. We're all very spiritual beings. We are connected to the other side. We do have a lot of protection. So know that you're in a safe space. That's most important. So Brian is going to lead a group intent and a prayer of protection. So let's go ahead and let Brian do that for us. And we are all ears, so to speak. Thank you, Brian, for doing this. We greatly appreciate you.
My pleasure. Mother Earth, Father Sky, Angels of the Light, thank you for being with us this evening. Help provide us the protection, a safe place, and the sacred space that we need to do this meditation. May those who are wishing to receive a message receive the message. Those who need to see a vision, allow them to see the vision at this time. Be mindful of all that is. Okay, everybody, close your eyes. Breathe in through your mouth. Release. Another big deep breath. Let all the anxiety from today just be released from you. Breathe in and release. Release all that does not serve you. Allow your body to relax. Breathe in breathe out. One more big deep breath. Breathe in, let it release all that does not serve you, and exhale. If you're able to, get in to see if your chakras are balanced. Balancing is one of the most important parts of meditation. You have to get yourself centered. Breathe in, breathe out. Just let your body relax. Feel like you're floating in water. Just let the energies come to you and go away from you. One more time. One big deep breath in and breathe out. Okay, I think we're all ready, Sophia.
Wonderful. Ooh, I feel good. Thank you, Brian.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Let me go ahead and set the mood here.
We're going to have just a little more breath work, so bear with me, kids.
Okay.
As you remain in a comfortable state with your eyes closed, we will begin grounded, centered, and balanced. This journey begins by taking 3 deep, relaxing breaths. With each breath, release whole and complete all stress and concerns. Each breath pushes the outside world further and further away. On our in-breath, we breathe in through our nose, the purest of white light drawn up from the core of this beautiful, powerful planet Earth, filling your entire being from toes to fingertips to the top of your head, radiating beautiful iridescent white light within you like the divine soul you are. Breathe in through the nose, release. Breathing out through the mouth, any and all stress, worries, frustrations, and concerns, sending it all to the core of the earth where the first breath was drawn. Breathe normally. Notice your breath. Each breath, you become more and more relaxed. Breathe in through the nose, beautiful white light. Release. The feeling of peace washes over you, sending all that no longer serves you to the core of the earth. Breathe normally. As you breathe, the space around you is comfortable and safe. Breathe in through the nose, filling your body with beautiful white light, and release. As you sense the sacred space around you, you discover a door in front of you. You created this door. To you, it is your ideal design, color, material, and style. As you observe the solitary door, you notice it opens easily and seems warm and inviting. Inside this room are your intentions from the spring, your thoughts and ideas. Some are ready for action. You look around and you observe you're not alone. All of your guides, known and unknown, ancestors, they are here supporting you and your ability to act. Healthy co-creation and process is within your reach. The path is open, and the ability to move these thoughts into manifestation is exciting. Your healthy intentions are obtainable, and the connections and avenues of unfoldment and opportunity open before you. Everyone and everything that is needed for you to succeed is obtained easily and rewarded through your actions. Grace, ease, and courage are your constant companions now, and anytime you seek them, they will be found. Of all these wonderful thoughts, ideas, and intentions, one stands forward with a hint of perhaps now is the time to pursue it and take action. The season of the summer solstice is the season of wands, the season of the element of fire, purification, creation, and transformation. This energy is available in particular this time of year to empower, encourage, enrich, and edify you, continuing each day by stepping into the highest and best version of yourself. Taking action, believing, and envisioning that your best thought and intention will be done and well done. Looking down at your hands, you notice you're holding a shatterproof bottle. Inside this bottle are all the known and unknown things that you feel may slow your progress. As you open this bottle, everything is released, transmuted, and is now usable. This bottle is a perfect size to hold all the energy from this moment in time that you need to move forward with your intention and progress. As you place the closure securely on the full bottle of the Season of Wands fire energy, the bottle is now safely on your person, in your pocket, and anytime you need it to encourage you. You look up and notice again all the guides and ancestors, known and unknown, that have assisted you on your earth walk. May love, comfort, and all the support you feel you need surround you now and always. Looking up, you notice the door where you started. Familiar. Matches everything about you. It will always be available to you. As you approach it, it opens and you walk through. Seamlessly, you begin to notice the space around you. Same as where you started. You notice your breath. You become aware of your body. You are balanced, grounded, and centered, whole and completely seated within yourself, in your room, in this time, and in this space. Whole and complete with a sense of comfort and peace. It settles around you. When you are ready, gently wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes. Time to return to your body, your time, this place, safe and secure, refreshed, whole, and complete. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Come back.
Grandpa Brian?
Mother Earth, Father Sky, angels of the light, thank you for providing us a sacred, safe space to perform this meditation. Thank you for always being with us, sharing your wisdom and your love with us. I now close this sacred space.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Wow.
That stretch, that was awesome. Sophia, well done. Well done. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to see how did you guys experience that at home? Maybe put some comments up there. Did anybody get any feelings? Steve, yes, some people do tend to fall asleep. When you start meditation, you end up asleep.
There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that.
Wrong with that. Still counts.
Yep. Yeah. Chalk that one up. Yep. Well, I can tell you for me, there was just so much peace in it. I felt a lot about with the ancestors. I felt almost like, you know, those hands of the ancestors on your shoulder, supporting you, loving you, always being with you. And that's one thing as a human being. When we're alone, we feel like we're completely and totally alone. And when you know and you understand that you're not, that you're fully supported all the time, 24/7, there's not a moment in the day that you really are truly alone. You know, that's an interesting concept because, yeah, I could just feel that energy. I was very relaxed. I love the breathing aspect of it. I know how important that is to let things go the day. But, you know, how do you feel? Trina says, very nice, excellent, a bridge to the higher mind. Yeah. And this is how you connect to that higher part of yourself. And without meditation, it makes it extremely difficult to do that. How about you guys? Nick, what did you get out of that? Any feelings about this?
Okay, so I mean, I got some visuals.
Okay.
So starting out, my door was in the shape of urus, like a wooden style door. And as I opened it, it led me to a greenhouse. So there's a bunch of plants and stuff, and then like all like ancestors, guides and whatnot, they were all just like, you know, coexisting in the greenhouse, chilling. I was like, all right,
much like your background there.
Man. So I decided to join in with them. And then I started thinking, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to focus on right now? And first word that came up to mind was peace. So I was like, okay. Well, I guess that's what I'm wanting the most right now. I just want peace. So that's what I did. I just chilled in the greenhouse and went outside because it was getting a little hot in the greenhouse. And I was just chilling with nature and the animals that were around, along with all my soul family. It was pretty nice, pretty relaxing.
So you had a sense of them being with you?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Anything else for you, Nick?
No, that was the gist of it.
Okay. And how do you feel right now?
I feel pretty relaxed, almost groggy. I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
But I was pretty close because it was so comfortable.
Yeah. Sophia did an amazing job.
Yeah, I literally what was like on the desk.
Yeah. I could have kept going. I could have totally kept going. That was amazing.
Yeah.
How about you, Jasmine? What was your experience?
So kind of like what happened to Theresa. Well, I guess I'll get to that part. Real quick. It's okay if you fall asleep. That just means that your body was craving that amount of peace and that kind of check in, check down kind of situation. It's kind of like, you know, when you reset your computer and you're clearing the cache or you're clearing out like all of that RAM. It's
great analogy.
A reset. So if you fall asleep, nothing. The more you do it, the less you're gonna fall asleep because you're actually gonna start catching up on those. I don't know what you call it, like sleep points, REM points. you'll start catching up on those. Second thing I wanted to mention before explaining this, everything that we see, right, that we're seeing with the mind's eye or the third eye or the witch's eye, whatever you want to call it, it's all your imagination. A lot of people want to say, oh, well, what's spirit and what's imagination? The sheer fact that you can imagine it, that's your imagination. Not everybody has the same level of imagination. So
Good point.
If you can imagine it, you can imagine it for a reason. So my experience, even with Grandpa Brian when he was setting up the space, and I want to bring up that what Grandpa Brian did was really good for all of us, because even if you don't have the proper training, he set out a safety net for all of us to do it. So which was easier for me to like let go and trust, because if you go into it with those fears and those hesitations, or even over analyzing it or overthinking it, the vision per se is not going to be as clear, because you're like, is that what I really saw? Is this what I really? Because you're going to start looking at everything and picking at it and
analyzing it.
Yes, and that I used to do that too. But you'll get so much more if you just kind of record everything and then go back and pick at it. Don't pick at it in the moment, because whatever you're looking at, it's changing your energy. It's changing how you're feeling in the moment. So you're going to end up twisting the story it's telling you. So for me, in the beginning, I usually imagine roots coming down my feet and going deep, deep into the earth, and then the earth kind of sending roots back to me, and like we like interlace, so that way I could stay grounded. For me, staying grounded during meditation is really important, because if not, I'll get lost. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll take me forever to be like, oh yeah, this like it'll be like if I'm at the movie theaters and I'm at the movie theaters for like 5+ hours, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I had stuff to do today. Like, so I like to stay grounded, so that way when I do stop, my life doesn't get interrupted. It's also a safety precaution. Some people can stay stuck in that kind of connection. So it might get a little personal. Excuse me.
Go ahead and share. Yeah, safe spot, a safe space.
So what I saw like when Sophia said that to imagine the glowing light within us, right, from the toes to the tip tops of our head. I felt that like glow, right? And then that glow kind of like went beyond me and created a plant. And it was like a white, glowing, iridescent plant. But it was a tall stalk with like long leaves. And at the end of the leaf, there was like a little, like a ball almost. So I don't know what kind of plant that was. It like my guy.
Was it like an orb? Like an energy orb?
Yeah, like it was like an orb, but more oblong shaped.
Oh.
Because it wasn't perfectly spherical. So I don't know what kind of grain it was. They're telling me it was a type of grain.
Okay.
So I saw that, and I'm like, oh, what a cool color! Because my favorite color I found out is iridescent, like the shimmery
opalescent.
Purple. Yeah. Like pink, purple, blue, green.
Yes.
Like iridescent.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was called, but I've never claimed a favorite color until I was like, oh, that's what it is. I like that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
So that's what the plant looked like. And then when I had my door, it was like that too. It was a square door, like a square door. And yeah, but that's a dream meditation. Goes into astral projection, which is like a whole other world.
True.
Yep.
Which is also very fascinating. So then I had this big white iridescent door, and the key lock was like one of those ancient Victorian key locks. And I opened it, and it was like, I don't want to say like to a paradise, but basically my paradise. Like it was green lush grass with like waterfalls and rivers, and then you had like the ocean into the far left, and then there was a bunch of animals. There was this big white tiger. There was like this huge bird, huge bird. And then so it was just lots of animals and things like that. And then when Sophia said turn around and all your ancestors and your guides, like the ones you've met and the ones you haven't met, were there. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, here's my joy guide, here's my happy guide. I was like, there's you. And then I kept looking, and I'm like, whoa, who the this is a lot of people.
Oh,
Note
that's
it
great.
down.
For
If
me.
we're gonna do it, let's do it. Let's glean some knowledge and information.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I got a little emotional. I was like, I didn't realize I had that many supporters. I thought it was just me and like my little crazy few. Like I was like, okay, it's just us. It's our little niche.
Ooh, it's an
no,
army behind you. There's an army of souls.
I was just like, oh, I must be doing something right.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then after I kind of like, I didn't want to focus on that energy too much or be there for too long because I knew I was going to start crying. So I was like, okay, I'm going to.
Wow. So it really hit you on an emotional level. You really felt that.
And then out of nowhere, someone or something decides to like, I don't want to say pull me down, but and it wasn't heavy, but not in a bad sense, but like straight down here. It was probably like the size of like a cylinder, like this big.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It was just pulling on my head like all the way down. And then I was just like, what is going on? Right? And then my guys are like, just breathe, it's fine. It's okay. You're in a safe spot. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, they're like, it's just a download. Don't worry about it. You met some people in this room. They want to say they're happies and blah, 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 blah. It's like, you know, I was like, I just don't. And they're like, Jasmine, it has to go through the top chakra first. And then it goes down to the rest of the chakras. And then when you wake up, it'll go where it's supposed to. And I'm just like, they're like, don't fight it. If you fight it, it's going to get stuck. And I'm like,
Wow. You have a lot going on in that. That's
See why respect and trust is so important?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And building that
Yeah.
relationship with your guides. Because if I wouldn't, because these guides now I know have been looking out for me for a very long time. And I know that they're on my side because they've been trying to keep me alive this whole time. So,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much
Amazing.
the bulk of what happened. to
Yeah.
me.
Fascinating, Jasmine. Fascinating. I love that. How about for you, Grandpa Brian? What did you experience out of curiosity?
It was funny because when I went to open the door,
Uh-huh.
it was not like it was. I mean, I could see a door handle, but it was like actually looking into a void.
Mm-hmm.
It like it just kept going. I was like, "What?" And I opened up the door, and beautiful room. When I walked in, the first wall I seen it was the bright, shiny copper, and then two side walls were the brown patina copper. I was like, "What's going on here?" Well, then I turned around, and the door and the wall that where the door was, it was the green patina copper. I'm like, wow, this is cool. And I turned back around. And I was looking at the shiny wall. And then I turned back around and there was a table right there. And Jesus was sitting at the table. And I sat down. And he's like, you're getting it. And that's all he said to me. And then he looked up and I looked up and it didn't have a ceiling. And I saw these angels and other beings looking down on me, which I do believe was my team looking down on me like, hey, we're here to support you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is amazing. I was like, I got all this connection because copper is a conduit for electricity and all that. So it's like, wow,
That's right.
I just feel this incredible connection when I was in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she told us to come back, it was weird because when I walked out the door and went to shut the door, it was like I was looking in the void again, but then the hallway and everything was just complete darkness. It was silent. It was peaceful. And then I opened my eyes up.
I have to say something.
Yes. Go ahead, Sophie.
GB, do you mind if I share your sun sign?
No, go right ahead.
Okay. GB's Taurus. Okay. Guess what is the ruling metal for Venus, which is the ruling planet of Taurus?
Copper.
I did not know.
Copper.
Tell me that's not a personal medit. Tell me that is not source going, hello, you rang? Dude, right now.
I did not know that.
Wow.
When
Wow.
you were describing me, watch the playback as you're describing them, and I'm going, I just made
Wow.
fact check myself. I was like, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Fascinating.
Wow, that is fascinating.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Let's go, Spirit. Let's go.
Yeah, we
Yep.
are all in, that's for sure.
Ooh.
So,
Goosebumps and the hairs are standing up.
yeah, Eleanor Little, Teen Taurus. My mom's a Taurus. Yeah. You got to love that Taurus energy. That's a I don't give up for nothing energy.
Oh, so stubborn.
Yep. And I don't let go unless I want to.
Mhm.
It's all good.
But hey, it's a
Awesome.
loyal energy too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Taurus is, I like to liken it to the glue that holds everything together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Taurus energy does. Yeah. It's
Big
amazing.
Earth. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So, Jasmine, you have a comment?
Yeah, just real quick from reading
Sure.
on the chat. I
Mhm.
would be curious to see if every time you try to meditate, how often you get interruptions or what stops you from meditating.
Hmm.
Make
Because
note of
And
it.
what comes up for you in the meditation?
No, like what stops you? Because I was reading that some of them, like someone was mowing their grass, so like it pulled them out of like the space.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Someone got a phone call.
Mhm.
Someone had something else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I to me, if I'm trying to do something good for myself and there's things constantly trying to stop me, I would take note of that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not right now is a good time to do it. Maybe play it back later and
Mhm.
experience it that way. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also,
Or be
mental
like,
note about
who's trying to keep me down?
Yeah.
Who's trying to stop me from leveling up? Well, that I don't know. It's just something to keep note of.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Very good point. Sophia, I was curious. How did you feel about that meditation? What came up for you, even though you were leading that guided meditation? What really kind of came up for you?
I would say, well, it was interesting writing that meditation. I basically channeled it. That I just moved and typed, and that's what happened. But for me, it's more of a feeling. I mean, I'm very visual, so I thought my door was oval and it was wood and ingrained and very intricate oak. And then of course the books and the ancestors, very personal because you're stepping into the higher mind. But for me, it's the love, the comfort, the security, but still having control, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But it's a privilege is what it is to serve in this capacity. Hail Delabor. I meant it when I said it.
Mm-hmm.
I am so far out of my comfort zone right now. It's not even funny, but I'm going to keep going because
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't tell, Sophia. You totally cannot
well,
tell.
good.
You did it like a seasoned pro. Yeah.
All right. So
Well, I'm
I just
glad
need to
that.
write it down and keep it to myself. Cool.
Yeah. I'm glad Dalibor was behind you too and supporting you. So
He was.
he supports us all. I can feel his energy too. And
Agreed.
he was,
Yep.
yeah, he's sorely missed for sure. The physical aspect of him, but the part that is all encompassing. He's always with us. So I love that.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, everyone got something out of it tonight. And even if you're watching the replay, really make it a point to have that quiet space, that time where you're just alone with you. Make room for you, make time for you, make space for you. It's really important. Yeah. Yes, Mary Mansfield says, sometimes our comfort zone is simply a rut where we're too afraid to climb out of. Yeah, fear
Mhm.
will really hold you
We're
back. And
comfortable. We
yeah,
don't want to move. What do you
yeah.
mean evolve and ascend and
Yes.
transmute and transform? I'm just
Yeah.
happy. And Spirit's like, aim higher.
It's work. It's all work. It's not easy. None of us got here, by just playing the game. We
Right.
literally had to do the work, and you have to be committed to yourself to do that.
Swim,
And
newbie, swim.
yeah, and take that time for yourself and really make that, I find the best time to kind of meditate for me personally, and this is just me, is just before I lay down to go to sleep. And I do a conscious thing where I literally let the day go. And then I will go through the day and I will say all the positive things I liked about the day, everything that was good about it. I give gratitude for the day, that today was a gift. And just to kind of set in that space. And then I'll set that aside, and then I'll go, what were the negative part of the days? And then I'll let that go. If I did something that I didn't feel good about, I'll let it go. I'll forgive myself. I'll write myself a permission slip, like Bashar says. It's okay to let that go. It was what it was. It is what it is. It's time to let go of it. And then after I do that, I start to focus on my breathing, and I will just pay attention to how I'm breathing. It's in, it's out, it's in, it's out. The heartbeat slows down, and then next thing I know, I just kind of flow off into la la land. And of course, when we sleep, we're in the etheric realms anyway. We're home and we're doing our work there. I mean, if you've ever had a night where you felt like you got shuffled around all night long and you really didn't get any sleep, that means you were working hard in the etheric realms. Sometimes it's like, I need a nap after falling asleep, throughout the night, because you can wake up just drained, but it has to do with the work that you're doing in the etheric realms. We're always working. We're always growing, learning. It never ends to an infinite degree. Yeah. Go ahead, Jazz.
I was going to say, you brought up a really good point about breath work. It was something that I used to take for granted so long. I'm like, breathing, yeah, I do it. It's automatic. It's not a big deal, right? But like, even when Grandpa Brian's like, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. I know it sounds cliche, or like, therapists say it all the time, like, take a deep breath. And it's like, it almost sounds like patronizing, but there's so much science and so much truth and so much, like, I feel like esoteric things are put in movies on purpose because they have to tell us the truth, and I feel like they tell us the truth through movies.
Yep. Yep.
So there's a lot of different movies that I can remember that has to do with breath work. And even though it might be easy, if you pay attention to how you're breathing, it changes your mind, it changes your heart, it changes a lot of things.
Yeah. And, there are tons of videos out there on YouTube that you can listen to, that you can do the guided meditations. There's ASMR type stuff that's really incredible. There's a gal on there that does the regression. If you wanted to do like a past life regression or something like that, she guides you through it. It's quite amazing. But be sure, and as Nick has mentioned in the past, be sure to listen to that fully before you actually commit to doing it, so that you know what you're listening to, so that you don't fall into that subconscious level and absorb something that you really shouldn't. So keep that in mind as well. But there's so much on YouTube that you can get out of that. But yeah, breath work is really important. There's another thing I'd like to share with you that I learned is kind of, when you're stressed out and your energy is really heightened and maybe you're in fear, there's just something going on throughout the day. If you take your hand and you fold your fingers to this crease in your hand, and then you take your thumb and you press real hard and hold it right in that palm part of your hand. And if you just hold that for a few seconds when you're feeling that way, and then take some deep breaths, you'll be amazed and shocked how quickly you come out of that. And that's a pressure point, and it works. It really works. So that will relax you. Your nervous system, it actually affects the nervous system. So just fold your hand in half, put your thumb there, hold it over, and press real hard on that. Give it a shot. Just something I learned the other day and wanted to share with everybody. So, yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Well, fantastic. Way to go, everybody. Super, super excited about this. Yep, loved it. Go ahead, Nick.
Okay.
Sorry.
I would like to clarify with the when she was saying to watch what you're listening to. If you're going to go the YouTube route and put something on, make sure it's at least like 8 hours long. Because as soon as it ends, you don't know what your algorithm is going to throw on you. It could be something similar. It could be something.
Oh, he's saying don't fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
Don't fall asleep to short videos because YouTube will play random.
It may start another one and play, so you'll need to go into your settings and make sure that nothing else plays after that. You can make the adjustment in YouTube.
Or download it.
Yep, or download it. That's perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Download it because you might want to listen to
yes
it again.
And 2 for no, and 3 for hell if you know.
Yeah.
Get some action back there.
Are you getting action?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Just tapping, popping. I haven't been here for a little bit, so the house misses me. So
yeah, it's a beautiful space, Sophia. I'm loving seeing you in that space. I saw all the work that you did on it. That's fantastic. All the painting and doing the floors. You want to tap into that for a second? I'm real curious. It's like they have something to say, don't they? Go ahead.
What I'm feeling and what I'm seeing, it's just the past mediums can interact on this plane as well as the physical plane, and I feel that spirit is very, very excited because the more equipped and practiced we are as energetic beings, spiritual beings having a physical experience, the higher quality of life is what's going to unfold, and because they can see energy and they see, more than we do, that's where I feel the excitement is coming from. They're proud of me. So
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hope you all got something out of it. For beginners, I hope you have a better understanding of what meditation is. The people that were here live, thank you so much for, sitting through it and experiencing it with us. And hopefully we've given somebody some tools and a better understanding about what to expect with meditation and what mindful meditation really is. And that's just sitting with the self, connecting with the self, and not just the self, but also the ancestors and all that looks out for you and supports you in every moment. So, yeah, absolutely. I'll give you all of final thoughts and a chance to give that. Brian, I'll start with you. Final thoughts for you.
Just make sure you're in the right mind space. Clear the energy, clear any negative thoughts, any negative energy that you think is attached to you. Just get it off of you and release it, because I tell you, if you don't, then your meditation could be a negative experience for you. So be mindful of clearing and making sure that there is no negative energy attached to you and you're in the right mindset to do the meditation.
I love that. Very good. Jasmine, final thoughts?
Sorry. My final thoughts is just do what feels right to you. If you are a little scared, that's totally okay.
It's normal.
Yeah, that just means that you're paying attention, right? I would say conquer your fears. For me, I always go with the tidbit that you can go through something, you can go around something, you can go under something, you can go over something. But the point is, don't let it control you. You have to decide that. And if this is something that interests you, try it. You never know if you don't like something unless you try it 3 times. That's what I heard.
3 strikes you're out kind of rule.
Yeah, because the first time you try something, your body psychology says that you won't like it because it's new. You know what I mean? It's change. No one really likes change, right? Unless you're like you're 5 and I love
Yep.
change. But for change isn't easy. So the first time you're naturally going to be like, ew, this is so weird. Like I don't like it because it's not normal, right? The second time it's like, oh yeah, I still don't like it, because you're trying to validate what you felt the first time. The third time you try it, that's when you're actually being more open-minded into trying it, because your body's like, well, we're doing it again, so obviously there's something here.
There's a theme here.
Yes. So, I mean, just
I love that. I love that. Not sure what's going on with Sophia, but something's come up. So yeah, I just would encourage everyone to at least give it a try, you know, see what comes up for you,
go, Nick.
and stay positive. And the other thing is too, always, always, always try to be in joy, be in love. And
I think Nick has some final thoughts.
oh, go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
So the besides the other side effect of when you're starting out with like the falling asleep thing, there's something else that your body tends to do. Is what it'll do is you'll have like it'll like spaz, if that makes sense. It'll have spasms where you'll just be, and then randomly one of your appendages will just like
They'll jerk.
Yeah, they'll jerk.
I've had that happen
at first, and it'll
yeah,
make you lose focus, but that's your body releasing
adjusting
stress.
Yep, it's adjusting. Yeah.
So you lose focus, just restart until you get that tolerance of not getting affected by that, and eventually your body will calm down, and then you'll.
That's a good point. Yeah, the other thing is too, when you're starting to go into that and you've just got all these thoughts of the day, that really takes some mind control. It takes several weeks for you to kind of shut that valve off, so to speak.
Yep.
So know that if that's coming up for you, that's a normal part of it. It's going to take some time for you to practice that and to stay in a clear mindset. And that's difficult. Yep. That for me, in the very beginning, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to maintain that level of clear lucidity, so to speak, where I didn't have the conscious mind trying to talk to me.
Yep. I always call meditations mental push-ups.
Yes.
You're going to be able to do very many at first, but if you keep practicing, you'll be able to do more for longer.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, starting out, you might get 30 seconds if you're lucky, or maybe a couple minutes if you're naturally talented with it because you've done it in past lives. But as you progress, you can do it for hours. I've done it for like 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
And there's been other people that have done it way longer. So
yes, there are people that can do it for hours on end. Yeah.
Some Buddhists have done it for days at a time.
Yes. Monks.
Yeah, there's a monk right now that's technically not dead, and he's like over 300 years old because he's in a constant meditative state, which is crazy.
Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah, that's fascinating. Sophia, final thoughts for you. And again, you did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for that. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much for allowing me to serve. It's my privilege because I get into a sacred space. Although I'm reading it, it's powerful. It's under, in my opinion, in at least the society I grew up in, it's under celebrated, underutilized. And for me, it's very empowering and grounding because I incorporate grounding into my meditations. It's kind of like jazz. What's the point of not doing it, to benefit us? Everybody's different, but I'm a similar jazz in that regard. It's hard to say anything else because everybody's already said everything.
Yeah. It was a great show. A lot to think about. Hopefully it gives people something to think about and a whole new perspective on what mindful meditation is. So, yeah.
Won't get a hangover. So,
that's funny. No hangovers after meditation. I love that.
You should get hangovers. You can get energetic hangovers, but not by doing something like this.
One last thing. Go ahead, Brian.
Steve asked a question in chat. With next Friday being July 4th, are we going to be doing a show?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about it amongst us and see if we're up for it. If we are, yeah, we could be here. So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe we'll do something special for that. But yeah, that gives me some creative ideas. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out, but we'll let you know. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thanks again. Appreciate y'all being here and participating. So much love for you all. Peace, love, and joy be unto you. And have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Later.
Go meditate.
Yeah.
Bye now.